Sustainable food production is one of the greatest challenges for the future. With global demand for food set to increase by nearly 70% by 2050. Agriculture is one of the most polluting and ecologically damaging industries. If we want to keep food on the table without continuing to ravage our natural environments, we need to completely rethink how our food industries work.
I'm Russell Beard in Finland, where one restaurant is championing a hyper-local circular economy to create a revolutionary approach to dining.
I'm Ursula Farigno in Italy, where scientists are combating jellyfish blooms by taking them out of the sea and onto our plates.
In developed countries like Finland, it's hard to imagine that we're in the thick of a global food crisis. These Helsinki shelves are stacked to the hilt with a wide variety of tasty treats.
Bear salami. Oh.
But what's the true cost of all this choice to our increasingly beleaguered planet?
Reindeer spring roll. Our global food system is incredibly wasteful. We use huge amounts of energy, water and land to grow food, then fly it thousands of miles around the world, only for much of it to remain uneaten. It's an incredibly inefficient and imbalanced operation. Korvopust. I don't know if my pronunciation is quite right. Can you, one more time?
Perfect. Korvapuusti.
Korvapuusti.
Yes.
Okay. So we've been having a dig around to see if we can get some statistics about the amount of food that is wasted. So if you imagine this pulla bread is total food produced in the world, we've lost 10% during cultivation, 7% is lost after the harvest, 12% which is lost during processing or point of sale, and another 11% is lost after it's been purchased. That means in total, over a third of the food that we produce worldwide is wasted or just thrown away. And that's absolutely shocking to me.
A growing movement of pioneers are taking steps to fix this global problem. This is Ultima, a 5-star restaurant that aims to be the model of sustainability. All the ingredients are local, and all the processes are designed to do as little damage to the planet as possible, eliminating all the polluting effects of industrial agriculture. It's the brainchild of chef Henry Allen.
For the uninitiated, can you explain a little bit about what Ultima is and why you've set it up?
It's all started when me and my colleague Tommy,
Hey guys.
we were taking the bins out and we were thinking like, how can we make this much waste? How could we do the things better for the environment, for the customer? That is our biggest ambition.
One way to do that is by going hyper-local. In other words, by growing ingredients right here in the restaurant.
I've seen a vertical farm before, but never in a restaurant, I have to say. This is great.
The main thing about this system, it's hydroponic. Water circulates from up here. The plant takes always the water only from the roots, okay? It's 95% less water than the conventional farming. And the best thing for me in this idea is that we can cut the fresh herbs just before the service of every day. There is minimum waste. When you taste it, it's very sweet, and from the seed to fully grown in the system, 1 week. Totally organic, no pesticides, no fertilizers, nothing.
Ultima is based on the principles of circular economics, where waste is seen as a resource. This approach minimizes the need for transport, water and energy, and they even farm livestock on site. Edible, carbon-neutral crickets.
They're not in the lights.
Yes, you know, the idea...
Crickets in the lights, brilliant.
Ultima serve up over 1,000 crickets each week in their 5-star dishes, with cricket larvae growing into fully grown adults within 2 months.
This is the bigger home.
Wow, hello.
Yes.
There we are, little crickets. So can you give us a sense of how these little critters fit into this notion of a circular economy?
We can use all the stems of the salads or the peels of the cucumber. If we feed them 1 week with basil leaves, they will taste most like basil.
No.
And that way we don't have to throw anything away, because they eat almost anything.
Henry's mission is fundamentally about changing our attitude to the food that we eat and preparing us for a future where meats like beef may not be so readily available.
100 grams of crickets, it's 22 grams of pure protein. Take 99% less water than growing beef. So their carbon footprint it's like nothing.
Henry's also trialling a protein-rich algae. The ideas are so innovative, they're being seen as the future of food production on this world and beyond.
This is cool stuff. This is also the one thing that NASA is interested about.
NASA, the space agency?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, look at this guy.
It's a potato.
Some space-age potatoes.
Yeah, it's called aeroponic, so it grows in the air.
Hello.
Yeah.
Now that is something you don't see every day, is it? It is wet.
Yeah.
It's in the air, but
Yes.
they're still kept moist.
Yes.
Right.
But this way you don't really need any soil. The benefits about this is it can produce 10 times more potatoes than a traditional way.
So this is for real for you guys. This is not just a kind of a marketing stunt.
We don't have to be millionaires. We just need to, grow things forward, make people think.
We're talking about, food security, desertification, climate change, big issues. They really care about this stuff. And I'm on board, and I've not even seen the food yet.
Later, on Henry's invitation, I'll be cooking dinner here. But first, I travel just 1 hour down the road to see if these principles of circular economics can work on a much larger industrial scale.
It's a bit away, but let's take the scooters.
Scooters? Farming on scooters?
Exactly,
Amazing.
yeah.
All right. Do you need a license for these? Is there brakes?
Here at Robbie's farm, actor turned farmer Robert Jordas also has a vertical farm, but this one is on another level.
Oh man, oh wow. Woo! Lose our jackets. It's a different season inside, isn't it? So it's like a herb safari. What have we got?
Mint, basil again, some coriander.
I had expected you to have kind of a glass house as well. So this is entirely electric LED lights.
Yeah.
There's no sunlight used at all.
The control of the environment creates a more efficient growth and a much higher yield.
Is there much waste from an operation like this?
We grow in a biodegradable pot, so we have no plastics inside the growth area anymore. Everything is biodegradable.
Robert's goal is to prove that these hyper-sustainable techniques could one day be rolled out in every city and town in the world.
Transporting these leaves and this peat and this pot around the world is not that clever. It should always be produced locally and consumed locally.
Wow, I love that. Rather than taking the food to the plate, you're taking the farm to the customer.
Close to the plate,
the farm
yes. Yeah.
Wow. You can see that they're constantly working on improving the efficiency of the whole operation. Even this isn't truly waste because it's going to get composted and used on the farms outside. They're reconceptualizing the concept of waste.
On my way back to Ultima, Henry's asked me to pick up some supplies for tonight's dinner service. But at first, I wonder if I've come to the right place.
Chris?
Hi.
Hey. Hi. How are you doing?
Hi.
What are you doing out here?
We're growing mushrooms. We're growing oyster mushrooms on coffee waste. Finnish people are crazy about mushrooms and they drink a lot of coffee.
You've got an absolute giant back there. That is an absolute perfect specimen.
These are ready to harvest. They will be harvested today, actually.
We don't want to hold you up, but we'd love to give you a hand.
Chris's team collects used coffee grounds from businesses right across Helsinki. The grounds provide all the nutrients mushrooms need to explode into life.
Oh man, oh look at that. Now that is amazing, isn't it?
You can just grab the whole cluster and then twist it until it comes off.
Ooh.
There you go.
That's an absolute beauty, look at that one.
We have the consumer product, we call it the Helsinki Grow Kit. And this basically, you see it's the same as we have in our farm, but this is so that people can grow it at home. If you're a normal coffee drinker, you can make do with your own coffee grounds.
I can imagine it being quite magical to watch these incredible kind of creatures emerging.
Yeah, here in Finland there's now quite an active community of home growers.
Encouraging consumers to grow food at home is the kind of strategy that will reduce our dependence on industrial agriculture. Chris's team have sold 3,000 of their kits and even run workshops to teach people how to grow fantastic fungi.
All right, so we've done our harvesting. We've got our mushrooms back to the restaurant. We're going to cook them up. So, wash the hands,
Yes.
ready to go.
Are you ready to cook?
Oh man.
So you can take the crickets.
Hi.
Oh my God, what have you done?
We've got the salad greens and herbs, which are grown over there.
Yeah.
We've got the crickets, which are grown up there, and the mushrooms, which are about half an hour away.
Yeah.
So
Farm.
it's
So it's
pretty local.
It's about as local as you can get, you know. I mean, I'm going to fish out one of these little guys.
Yeah.
Oh, you can taste the prickly little legs.
Yeah.
But I tell you what.
I think it's super sophisticated.
It's a really nice protein, the cricket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is.
Thank you
Great.
so much.
Thank you so much. It's a
Appreciate it.
pleasure that you can.
Thank you.
If these ideas can go mainstream, which is what they want, whether it's, you know, the circular economy or the hyper-local production or just the kind of general transparency of the operation, you could start to see a globalized food system that is feeding the world and reducing that environmental impact to an absolute minimum.
The world's growing demand for food is putting ever-increasing pressure on natural resources. Food waste campaigners believe our environment may be close to breaking point.
Food is the single biggest impact that humans have on nature. We are deforesting the earth to grow more food. It's by far the biggest user of fresh water, the single biggest source of carbon dioxide emissions, and the biggest reason why we're in the middle of the mass species extinction event, the 6th, that planet Earth has faced. At least a third of the world's food is currently being wasted. We're talking about ugly fruit and vegetables on farms being wasted because they don't comply with cosmetic standards. We're talking about huge heaving shopping aisles of food which is just going to end up in the supermarket bins. And the reason why they're there is because the supermarkets know that's what triggers our response of taking and filling our basket, even though week after week, on average, people are wasting 20% of the groceries that they're buying in those stores. It's a system with entrenched waste within it. We do have the power as individuals to waste less, shift away from the most ecologically destructive practices. That should give us hope that we can flip this enormous problem into one of the most delicious tools to tackle environmental meltdown.
With over 7,500 kilometres of coastline, Italy has relied on the bounty of the sea for thousands of years. But hidden beneath these azure waters, an environmental catastrophe may be underway. I'm Ursula Ferrigno, and I've been a chef and food writer for nearly 30 years. Italian cuisine is one of my passions, so when I heard Italy's fishing waters were under threat, I just had to investigate. I'm here in southern Italy, where Italians are facing a rather stinging problem. Jellyfish numbers are up by 400% in the last 13 years alone, with the tentacled terrors swamping the coastline and damaging the delicate marine ecosystem. But sometimes one problem can solve another. I've come to Lecce to find out how jellyfish could help alleviate the impending food crisis by becoming an ingredient in the Italian kitchen. First though, I've met up with marine biologist Dr. Stefano Praiano, who is researching the rise in jellyfish numbers.
There is scientific evidence that there are some increase, particularly in coastal areas, subject to anthropogenic impacts, human impacts on the coast, may produce an enhancement of the frequency and the abundance of jellyfish.
Dr. Stefano's research suggests jellyfish numbers are booming due to a variety of man-made factors. Artificial waterways like the Suez Canal, which connects the Red Sea to the Mediterranean, are transporting new jellyfish species here. And climate change is enabling these newcomers to survive, with summer sea temperatures in the Med rising by 1.15 degrees C in the last 3 decades. How bad is the problem, Stefano?
Ecological impact of jellyfish is equivalent to lions in the savannah. They are top predators, so they can have a strong impact on the functioning of the marine ecosystem. In some cases, we have large jellyfish which blooms to reach densities like up to 300 or 400 tons per square kilometers along the coastline. So this would affect particularly human activities like swimming along the coast, or fishery, and even aquaculture plants may be affected, because in some cases the venomous jellyfish can kill 100,000 of fish in a few days.
These blooms are hitting local fishing industries hard. It's estimated that in the North Adriatic they cost the Italian fishing fleet €8.5 million a year. Stefano sent me north to the aquarium of Genoa to discover how the creature's unique reproductive process is really compounding the problem. The babies, bambolinos.
Yes, this is the baby jellyfish.
Curator Silvia Lavarano is breeding thousands of jellyfish. There's little she doesn't know about these potent, pulsing creatures. Why are the jellyfish so efficient at reproducing?
The adult that release a huge quantity of sperm and eggs. They fertilize, and in this step we have plenty of larvae. All this can go on the bottom of the sea, is settled on the bottom and became a polyps. Each polyps release, after division, a very big number of jellyfish. Yes. This is the bloom that happens in the sea.
Jellyfish are so prolific at breeding, a single adult can lay up to 45,000 eggs a day. These ancient invertebrates have existed since before the dinosaurs, and they inhabit every ocean on Earth. Jellyfish swarms have decimated Irish salmon fisheries and hit the tourist industry of Australia, where one beach saw 13,000 bathers get stung in a single week. But back in Lecce, I've heard that a research project is close to a breakthrough. It's called Go Jelly.
This is our lab.
Dr. Antonella Leone and her colleagues aim to show food safety authorities that jellyfish are a safe, plentiful food source. But serving poisonous jellyfish makes me a little nervous. Are they all safe to eat?
No. We have to study each species, because each species could have a different toxic compound.
So each jellyfish you will measure?
Yes, we measure and weight. After that, we froze in liquid nitrogen in order to extract different venoms. There is some jellyfish that could be lethal for human, and jellyfish that are really safe.
Dr. Antonella's research shows that most Mediterranean jellyfish are perfectly safe to eat, with just a small number needing toxins removed through freezing or simply by washing. It's giving me hope that this could be a genuine food for the future. What are the other challenges that you face?
In Europe, jellyfish is considered a nuisance,
a danger.
Just a danger. This could be changed if our studies demonstrate that they are a very powerful resource of food. Could be important for local fishermen, local restaurants, for local economies.
If jellyfish meat goes mainstream here, it could help rebalance marine ecosystems and rid Italian waters of this gelatinous menace. And with 80% protein and just 5% fat, it could also become a highly prized alternative to meat. Farming livestock is responsible for up to 14.5% of greenhouse gas emissions. So eating jellyfish as a substitute could help reduce the very global warming that causes their blooms. They're already popular in much of the Far East. but right now they can't legally be sold as food anywhere in Europe. So Antonella has provided some jellyfish and sent me to Go Jelly's collaborating chef, Fabiano Viva. Please, can we cook with the jellyfish?
Okay, come
now.
Andiamo. Yeah. Come on. This is two different species of jellyfish. This brown is perfect to eat raw.
Oh, nice.
But this only cooked.
To create the most tender jellyfish, Fabiano aims to cook it slowly, but first we wash it in an ice bath. Amazing texture! To ensure it doesn't lose the taste of the sea, Fabiano avoids all seasoning.
No salt, no pepper, only oil.
Okay, so we're cooking this sous vide, which is in a water bath. Why did you decide to work with Go Jelly?
E io amo tutto ciò che è nuovo.
Yes.
Passionate, like me.
Exactly.
And like you.
Oh, yes. When the jellyfish comes out of the sous vide, it's finished off in the oven. Fabiano has the vision for the future. And for me, that is truly, truly exciting. Fusing traditional Italian cooking with striking modern ingredients, Fabiano plans to serve the jellyfish with spheres of Campari, gin and parsley on a bed of Italian leaves. We have a dish. It looks like a jewel. It's time for me to taste Fabiano's creation, and the Go Jelly team has joined us to see the results for themselves. Oh, grazie mille.
Good.
Truly magnificent.
Do you like?
I love it. I don't like it.
Lovely.
I love it. Deliciosa. It really is. Fabiano's jellyfish is delicious with a very light seafood taste and a texture similar to calamari. But if jellyfish are going to make it onto dinner plates across the world, the public will have to fall in love with it. Would you like to try? Please try. So what does the team think?
In this food you can find some of the things that people are looking now. So no fat, low calories, and also a good taste. So you have all the ingredients for the food to be appreciated by the customer.
I feel privileged to have tried jellyfish. This has given me a taste of what the future might hold. If we all get on board and try this new food, then we might have a chance of redressing the damage that we have done to our oceans.
Food pioneers around the world are planning the diets of the future. Globally, over a quarter of ice-free land is used for grazing animals, causing enormous habitat damage. But a Californian company may have a solution. The Impossible Burger, a soy-based meat substitute that looks and tastes just like the real thing. Meanwhile, in Israel, scientists are farming Mediterranean fruit flies as a source of protein. Using 99% less land and emitting just 1/70th of the greenhouse gases generated when raising regular livestock. And in New Zealand, producers are making insects more palatable to Western tastes by coating them in chocolate. Time is running out to halt the food industry's environmental destruction. The challenge for us all is, wherever possible, to eat with the planet in mind and to choose our menus wisely to help prevent the decline of our natural world.